First Emperor of India? Chandragupta Maurya. 2. When was the first Battle of Panipat fought? 1526. 3. Who was the founder of the Maurya dynasty? Chandragupta Maurya. 4. Who is known as the father of Indian Constitution? Dr. B. R. Ambedkar. 5. Who was the first Indian woman to scale Mount Everest? Bachendri Pal. 6. Who was the first Indian to receive the Nobel Prize? Rabindranath Tagore. 7. Who was the first Indian to become the President of the Indian National Congress? Dadabhai Naoroji. 8. Who is known as the Iron Man of India? Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. 9. Who was the first Prime Minister of India? Jawaharlal Nehru. 10. Who was the first Indian to receive the Bharat Ratna Award? C. Rajagopalachari. 11. Who was the first Indian woman to become the Chief Minister of a state? Sucheta Kripalani. 12. Who is known as the Nightingale of India? Lata Mangeshkar. 13. Who was the first Indian to receive the Ramon Magsaysay Award? Acharya Vinoba Bhave. 14. Who is known as the Grand Old Man of India? Dadabhai Naoroji. 15. Who was the first Indian to win an individual Olympic gold medal? Abhinav Bindra. 16. What was the capital of the Maurya dynasty? Pataliputra. 17. Who was the first Indian to win a Nobel Prize in Physics? C.V. Raman. 18. Who is known as the Missile Man of India? Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. 19. Who was the first Indian to receive the Booker Prize? Salman Rushdie. 20. Who was the first woman Chief Minister of an Indian state? Sucheta Kripalani. 21. Who was the first Indian to receive the Olympic Order? Prakash Padukone. 22. Who is known as the King of Indian Cinema? Raj Kapoor. 23. Who was the first Indian woman to win an Olympic medal? Karnam Malleshwari. 24. Who was the first Indian to win the Fields Medal, a prestigious award in mathematics? Prof. Manjul Bhargava. 25. Who is known as the grandmother of the Indian Revolution? Aruna Asaf Ali. 26. Who was the first Indian to go into space? Rakesh Sharma. 27. Who is known as the Saint of Sabarmati? Mahatma Gandhi. 28. Who was the first Indian cricketer to score 10,000 runs in Test cricket? Sunil Gavaskar. 29. Who is known as the Flying Sikh? Milkha Singh. 30. Who was the first Indian to receive the Victoria Cross? Khudadad Khan. 31. Who was the first Indian to reach the South Pole? Colonel I.K. Bajaj. 32. Who is known as the Queen of Indian Television? Ekta Kapoor. 33. Who was the first Indian to win an Olympic medal in badminton? Saina Nehwal. 34. Who was the first Indian to receive the Nobel Prize in Chemistry? Venkatraman Ramakrishnan. 35. Who is known as the Missile Woman of India? Tessie Thomas. 36. Who was the first Indian woman to win the Miss World title? Rita Faria. 37. Who was the first Indian to win an Oscar award? Bhanu Athi. 38. Who is known as the Bharat Ratna of Indian classical music? Pandit Bhimsen Joshi. 39. Who was the first Indian to receive a knighthood from the British government? Maharaja Duleep Singh. 40. Who was the first Indian to become the CEO of a multinational corporation? Indra Nui. 41. Who is known as the Guru of Indian dance? Uday Shankar. 42. Who was the first Indian to win an individual gold medal at the Olympics? Abhinav Bindra. 43. Who was the first Indian to win the Nobel Prize in Medicine? Har Gobind Khorana. 44. Who is known as the Voice of India? Lata Mangeshkar. 45. Who was the first Indian to win the Pulitzer Prize? Gobind Bihari Lal. 46. Who was the first Indian woman to win a Grand Slam tournament in tennis? Sania Mirza.